Wallingford Community Church podcast, the first time it's been the Wallingford Community Church podcast. Previously it's of course been the Living Room Church podcast, but we're delighted to be back. It's been a while. Really pleased. My guest today is my mother-in-law, Beatriz. Thank you for joining me this evening. Really looking forward to the conversation. We've been going through our summer series in the Psalms, and lots of people have been sharing testimonies at church, and it's been brilliant. Beatriz shared a week or so ago, 10 minutes or so it was, so we're hoping to go into a bit more depth this time. So yeah, let's get going. Beatriz, thank you for joining me. So we've got an amazing story. Really looking forward to going through it. We're just going to start. Usually I start kind of early years, but we're actually going to, I think in your case, I think we have to take it even further back and maybe start with your grandparents, where they were and where they ended up, I guess. So do you want to just chat us through that?
A little bit back in the history.
Yeah,
yes.
back in the history.
Well, I had Swedish grandparents and German grandparents.
Okay.
My dad was Swede and my mother German. And my Swedish grandparents, they were not believers as far as I know.
Okay.
My German grandparents were. It was pretty strong tradition in that era in Germany.
Yeah.
And my grandmother specifically, she was a strong believer and prayed a lot. And we always accredit it to her that her prayers were answered when we all came.
And then, but they didn't stay in Germany and Sweden, so where did they go?
Well, my grandparents in Sweden, they stayed there, but in Germany, grandparents, my mother's parents and family, all left Germany before the war to go to Brazil. It was suggested that they buy land there and cultivate it for a coffee plantation. And so my mother was 15 at the time with a twin sister, an older brother and a younger brother, and they all had to work hard and cultivate the land in the middle of the jungle with no electricity, no running water. It was just wilderness.
Crazy. And did you ever speak to your mother about how she felt about leaving Germany at that time? Was that difficult for her, or was it just an acceptance that that's what
I think a little bit of both.
Yeah,
that's a good question, because it was a lot of fear-mongering and war. And actually, she and her sister went to a Catholic school, and they were persecuted there because the father insisted they would not join the Hitler Youth.
Okay. Yeah.
So the teachers and nuns there kind of were for it.
Yeah. So although it was difficult in Brazil, keen to
move on. Yeah,
okay.
They didn't know what they were going into either. It was like an adventure.
But it didn't go. There were issues. It didn't go that smoothly in Brazil. Would I be right in saying?
Yes, my grandmother became very ill. She had cancer, and they had to go to Buenos Aires to hospitalize her and to get treatment. So
and then that's where they settled in Buenos Aires.
They did at first, yes, got jobs there, etc. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And your mum and dad met in
Buenos Aires, Argentina. Yeah.
Okay, and that's where you were.
Well,
born?
No. My siblings and I, my parents, my dad was a civil engineer, so he had jobs all over Argentina.
Okay.
And they moved to be near to where his work was, which was in the northern Patagonia, Rio Negro.
Nice.
It's called,
Okay.
And that's where we were all born.
That's where you were born.
Yeah.
And do you have memories of Argentina?
I have memories of where we last lived, which is Bariloche, which was very beautiful there. Very just stunning scenery. My auntie, where we stayed, they had a house up high on a hill, and just panoramic windows, and you could just see the Chilean Andes, and the lake Iguazu, I think it was called, yeah, which was in between.
We'll come on to it, but you moved from Argentina fairly young, but have you ever been back to Argentina?
No.
No? Would you like to?
I would love to. I would love to.
Well, we've got some connections in Argentina.
I know, I was
connections now in
thinking
the
that.
church,
I was
so,
thinking that. That would be great.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
Maybe we could arrange a wee family holiday. That'd be good. So you spent your younger years in Argentina. How did your mum enjoy Argentina? Was she? There were a lot of struggles there, weren't there, for her as well?
Yeah. First of all, my dad worked a lot away, and they never had real super modern accommodation. You know, things were a bit hard in those days. And then she had this very sick little girl. So my brother was first born, and a year later, my sister was born, who was then quite ill. And then she was pregnant with me and had to have me, and it was a difficult time for her. She loved, before she met my dad, she loved to work in Buenos Aires. She was in research in a medical hospital, and she loved doing that. She loved anything to do with medicine, and research.
And you lived away from your mum for a while, is that right?
For 3 months when my mom had my sister. She had to go to the hospital for 3 months because she was poorly throughout her pregnancy. And my auntie, who was single at the time, she could only take my brother, and so I had to go to our family doctor's home.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in terms of church or Christian upbringing in Argentina, how would you describe that?
Nothing at all. I don't think they stepped foot in any church at all. I don't know how my grandmother's funeral went and all of that, but I do know that my mother she was quite spiritual. She had faith always, and she was with both her parents when they passed, and she had experiences there, which led her even stronger to believe. But she never really realized who Jesus was. I don't know about my grandmother, my German grandmother, in that regard.
And then your father, he started looking for work, so he was away for long periods and went.
So he somehow or another, I think he applied probably for a job in America, and he landed a very lucrative job in New York City to project manage the CBS building construction, which was amazing. And we used to love to go later when we moved to New York. We used to love to go there and watch, his building site. He would check it out and take his kids.
There must have been loads going on at that point.
Yes, and then we always got a hot dog with sauerkraut, which was still in my memory as
and you
yummy.
still enjoy a hot dog with sauerkraut.
Oh, the best.
But you didn't move straight away to America.
No, we stayed with my auntie in Bariloche during.
And did he speak English?
He did. He was
and
very
did your
versatile.
Mother
My mother, she spoke, learning all from books. She spoke German, Spanish, Swedish,
wow.
and even Portuguese.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you were a Spanish speaker at this point. You moved to New York City.
To New York City.
How was that?
It was tough.
Yeah.
I mean, in Argentina already, the first term of first grade, I was pretty much harassed in school. And the boys made it a game to sneak up to my desk and give me a quick kiss before the teacher noticed. And I would complain to the teacher, and she would just say, "Go sit down," So it wasn't
So that was
pleasant.
in Argentina?
That was in Argentina.
And
And in New York, similarly, I was harassed. They would take my jotters and scribble all over them and things like that. It was really,
and you had to learn English.
I had to learn English. I remember my very first spelling test, and that was, I think, in the second grade. and there were 10 words, and I only got one wrong. And I wrote, instead of sheet of paper, I wrote SHIT, and of course the whole class laughed. It was, quite humiliating that time.
And in terms of church upbringing there, things changed a little bit, didn't they?
Yes, my parents were friends with pastor and his wife, and they had no children. They kind of adopted us as family,
Nice.
and they were really, they brought us into the church, and we went to the church choir and sang there with my mom. And church was more important in
So
our
you
lives.
felt at home at church?
Yes,
there,
it was safe and at home. It was good.
Yeah.
Don't remember what we learned there.
Yeah, but you were still young at that point. And so what were the ages? You were 6, am I right in saying you were 6 when you moved to New York? So
Yes.
how long a period were you
We
there
stayed
for?
4 years in New York.
Okay, 4 years. And then you moved again.
And we moved to Maryland.
So what, Maryland, for those, name some, where is that?
Yeah, near
exactly?
Washington, D.C.
Near Washington,
Near
okay.
Washington,
So you
DC.
living in a city or?
Yes, in a
a
larger town,
Okay.
And in the suburbs, the next town was 5 minutes away.
And was this just for work in another engineer?
Yes, my dad had another big job there, a big complex of apartment buildings that he helped project manage.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how did you find fitting in Maryland?
Loved Maryland. Loved it. It was a how should I say, safer place. It was fun. It was, people were nice, and it was different from New York.
Different from the hustle and bustle of New York.
Yeah, definitely.
So you spent your high school years,
Yes.
all your high school years
Yes.
there? Okay. How was
continued
faith
going to church also in Maryland, and my parents were not regulars in church. They did send us to
just
church.
because it was the right thing to do, and that's what everybody.
That's right.
Everybody
And
did
and
it
I
at
think
that
they
time.
felt it right to do that, but they were agreed upon that. But they didn't always come with us. Like on a Sunday, sometimes if it was beautiful weather, we had to go to church, and they stayed home and lounged, in the garden. So it was a bit funny. But
you were still quite happy to go.
We were happy enough to go,
and
we were confirmed in the church later, and
And did you camps and things like that?
We did holiday Bible club, I think, once, my sister and I, and then the confirmation class, which took over a year, once a week, and that was about it, actually.
Yeah. Cool. And then, so you're quite happy in the States. You're comfortable there.
It was the best life ever.
Yeah. So that was
really, had a car with 16, and big house, and
what were your
plans?
What at that time? What were your plans for the future? What were you thinking? Were you studying?
Well, I was accepted at college. It was a girls' college, and it was run by nuns.
All right.
And
okay.
I don't know.
So how did you end up there?
Actually, I wasn't the academic of the family. My brother and sister were. So I was glad to have an acceptance. The others were all conditional, where I applied, and they would have been a bit further away. Okay. So I think my parents laid it warm to my heart that I should go there. It was just in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
My brother was already going to Georgetown University there.
He was studying medicine, is
yes,
that right?
He was.
Yeah.
And and it was just the principal that interviewed me and everything, he was just lovely, and I was comfortable there.
So how many years were you there?
Well, it was just half a term, because my dad passed away in the middle of that, and then my mother decided she would like some support to raise or to help out with 3 teenage kids, and she decided to go back to her roots, and she had a brother there who resettled from Argentina, and then
we went back to Germany. So that must have been, well, difficult for lots of different reasons, because you were a teenager, your father passed away. He was quite young, wasn't
He was just 50.
Yeah, so young. And not just that, but you also had to go to a country that you'd never been before. Had you ever?
Never been.
You'd never been to
Never
Germany?
been. We didn't speak the language. Knew some things from my mother, but it was a complete culture shock.
But what was your attitude? Was that just accepting that that's what you were doing, or was there a tinge of,
Yes.
I don't want
No,
to do
we
this?
weren't. We
Just wasn't a
just
choice.
did
It's
as
just
our mom told, and we knew that for her,
you wanted
it
to
was
support
just really
her
hard.
as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
My dad had a construction business, his own business, and there were things that, how should I say, it was maybe kind of going away from all the having to close down the business and all that.
So financially, it would have been tough for your
it was
mother.
It was financially, we were pretty okay.
Yeah.
Because of an insurance, life insurances, and but it was just culturally difficult, and financially, what my mother did was she said, okay, this is the pot, and she split it up between the four of us, my siblings, myself, and my mom, so that we can establish some sort of stability, maybe get property and rent it out, or something to start.
Yeah.
And then, but that was all.
And your brother had
really
to give
difficult.
up his medical studies as well. And he wasn't able to do that in Germany.
No.
So that was a big sacrifice.
That was for him huge.
Yeah. Wow. And I guess Anita, your younger sister, she was a bit younger.
My sister
school,
was the last year of high school, which was also a huge sacrifice. I guess I sacrificed the least, because then she couldn't do all the prom and and she was a cheerleader. She couldn't finish that. And graduate from high school. And she was a brain. She was a real gifted student, and yet not speaking the language, we couldn't get into any schools in Germany. No one wanted it. Okay. I think in later years
it'd be different now.
It would be different, but in that time it was impossible.
So you're almost at the bottom of the ladder now in Germany, and having
had to find work and
find your, So how was that first few years, say 5 years of being
well,
in
like
Germany?
I said, culture shock, and church was totally a non thing for us to do, because funny thing is, when you register to live there, they ask what is your denomination, what's your religion, and so we just ticked Christianity. And lo and behold, as soon as you earn money there, they take taxes from your paycheck for the church.
Oh, wow.
So we thought, no, that's ridiculous. We're not even going to church. And so we signed.
Untick that box.
Yes. And we had to apply to get out of the church. And they were really a bit stroppy about that. Are you sure you want to do this? And, not that they were saying, your salvation is not.
But they wanted their money.
Justified or stable or whatever. So we then, it was from there on, it seemed to go downwards with us morally.
Kind of all of the whole family.
Yes, pretty much.
So you're just kind of living the free life in Germany, and
partying and doing all sorts of stuff we shouldn't be doing.
And you were working in the music industry as well, is that right? So it's probably not the easiest industry to be
Well,
in.
I started out actually as a computer hole puncher, because thankfully in my high school I learned how to do the typewriter. So that was my saving grace, because we all had to get jobs. And my uncle was in a company where he was the head of the computer department, and the server was maybe 3 times the size of your home. with
Oh,
these big tapes and everything like that. That was anyway. And so he got me a job there to do hole punching cards.
Okay.
That's where I started. And then I got head hunted into the harbor area where they were the shipping industry. They were doing container terminals and
This is
things like
Hamburg.
that. This
I don't
is
think we've
in
said
Germany,
that.
Hamburg.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hamburg, Germany.
Yeah.
Yes, in the north. And that was a real good job. I had a lot of responsibilities there, and it was very interesting. Yes, what did I do from there?
I know you worked in the music industry. Did you not
Yes,
work for a record label or
from
something
there
like
on, I
that?
decided I would move completely down to the southern part of Germany. I had
Oh,
friends
right.
there, and but that went
Yeah.
just haywire. And then I came back to Hamburg, and that's when I went into the music industry
Ah, right.
because I thought, okay, I speak English, and in the
Yeah, yeah.
meantime, I could fluently speak German. The music industry is very helpful because they need both,
Yeah, yeah.
apart from other languages, perhaps as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I worked there then.
But you kind of, am I right in saying you kind of maybe potentially got into the wrong crowd at that point?
It was just a lot of partying and drinking and
Yeah.
fun and going out with celebrities and things like that. It was just,
Yeah.
a bit crazy.
Yeah. So so that would last a few years?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a few years. And then I met my children's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah. My husband at the time.
And you moved out of Hamburg to slightly
To
more
be,
rural. Well, how do you describe it? More villagey type.
yes.
And
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
that settled things down a bit?
No,
Okay.
because the
Other
villagers
problems.
like to party
Okay.
as well. And they, yeah,
A lot of
we
drinking
had, it was very
in the
good.
village.
It was nice in the village because you had community
Yeah.
and friendships, and
Safe
yeah.
outdoors. Yeah.
Kids grew up in safety and freedom. It was
Yeah.
good.
Because Amanda speaks
Highly,
reminisces fondly
yeah,
of
fondly of
her
the village
the
life.
village and the people and
Yeah.
just being able, everybody knew everybody, and yeah, so a lot of good things
Yes.
about it. And I think I've visited it as well, and it's
Yeah,
it's
there you
nice.
go,
It's
yeah.
good. I think I've seen the house that you
We used to get
grew up
milk
in.
from fresh milk from the farmer there, and
Yeah.
just walk along, and in season you could pick plums and apples along the way and things like.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just
Yeah,
nice.
nice.
It was
Yeah.
so nice.
But when did your Christian journey then start? Because it did start when you were in then
In the
that-
village. Yes.
what prompted that? How did it begin?
Well, things were getting difficult. My husband had, in the meantime, independent. He opened his own business,
Yeah.
and he was selling high value cars like Ferraris
Oh, wow.
and BMWs and Porsche, and he was selling them abroad.
Okay.
But there were some fraudsters amongst those
Yeah.
salespeople. Usually he could do it from the factories, but he tried to make a couple of really good deals and got into trouble through that,
Okay.
which kind of made things difficult financially for us, because it was going to trials and courts and things like that to try to get your justice. And
Yeah.
it was,
Even if you win these things, it's never a good experience. It's never.
no, it was a difficult time. But unfortunately, I was not always informed about the things that were
Right.
going on. So sometimes when my husband was out on business trying to get new products, I would get calls like from America or somewhere and say, "Where's my car?" and things like that.
Yeah,
And
that's
then
not
it was
nice to
like
hear.
how would I say, like an assembly line of, or how would you say, a series of things that went wrong along the
Kind of chain
line. Chain reaction,
yeah.
that's the right word. So yeah, and then I would
And you're not
find
kind of
out,
not
oh,
knowing everything, but knowing a little bit makes it
mm-hmm,
worse as well.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and it all came to a head. Things were getting worse, but I was seeking advice in. I mentioned that in the
On
testimony
Sunday,
in the occult. I
were you
was
quite
doing
heavily, was that first time you got involved in that, or had you been involved in it previously?
previously
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
Previously, I
Was that a theme,
dabbled in it
dabbling
before.
in,
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
for a couple of years. Like, and then we did Ouija board and tarot cards, and um, there was one time when things came to a real head. I thought, what am I going to do? You know, I don't want to get divorced. I want to, hold on to this marriage. I suggested to my husband also, we should just sell up everything that we have and try to. In the meantime, we had a house. We had two properties that building properties that we could sell. We had an apartment, and we just thought, this is, I thought we should sell up and then have
Yeah,
something, pay all our debts
yeah,
everywhere,
and
and
then,
then
yeah,
start afresh. But he wasn't doing it. So anyway, I didn't know what to do. I didn't have family there. Apart from my mother-in-law, I couldn't really go to her about these things.
yeah.
So I decided I would go to somebody that did clairvoyance and kind of read your palms or whatever. I didn't know
Yeah.
exactly, because I made an appointment with her and went to see her in the next town in Lübeck. And when I got there, I had to go up some stairs. It was kind of creepy and spooky. And then rang the doorbell. No one's answering. No one's answering. And I thought, oh, it is the right date, the right time. And then I rang the doorbell again. And finally, the woman opened the door. She asked me in, we sat on the couch, and then she was silent. And then she said, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I thought, this is weird, because prior to that, 3 years before that is when my sister sent me a Bible. And I read, seek and you shall find, knock and the door shall be open.
That's what you opened the Bible when
Yes,
you
when
yeah.
I opened the Bible. But I still went on 3 years after that,
Wow,
although
yeah,
she
yeah.
had
Starting
gently
to, yeah.
spoken about Jesus and about the Bible, things in the Bible. And, we would argue about certain matters. I would
And she'd
argue.
become a Christian in
She had become a Christian
Indonesia
when
or
she
Philippines?
was in Southeast Asia.
Southeast Asia, yeah.
And
But yeah, so
yeah.
you're arguing with, you're communicating with her on.
Yes, but I was also arguing certain points about why God made homosexuals
All right, okay.
and made them to desire each other. And then she said, no, she would tell me,
So
Romans, read that. And so I was still against,
yeah, yeah,
I had a faith. Jesus was important to me, but,
yeah.
all the
You're
aspects
trying
about a
everything,
true
yeah,
faith.
you're
Yeah.
so
And still looking
still
into,
seeking into
yeah,
anything. So you had that experience, and did that trigger an interest in Christianity, or was it
well,
not
I
quite as
thought, okay,
simple as
this is
that?
it.
Okay,
True. It
okay, yeah,
is. It triggered something in me, and I thought, oh, this is creepy. I don't think I'm meant to go this route. And in the meantime, my brother, he and his wife had an amazing experience, an amazing conversion experience, and lots of baggage and forgiveness they had to go through there, and it was just amazing how
yeah. And that
transformed they
touched
were.
you.
And
Saw
that
that.
totally, I saw such a difference in them, and he took it upon himself to take me through a discipleship course.
And were you close to him before that?
Yes, but he
Yeah.
was in Brazil.
Brazil. So you can
and
only
he
be
was in America.
yeah.
So
You didn't
I
have
was closer.
WhatsApp video calls and stuff like
We
that.
didn't have all that.
Yeah.
I was close to my sister, and when I was going through difficult times, I mean, we would hang on the phone for a long time, all on their bill because I couldn't afford it, And thankfully, her husband was earning good money in the oil industry.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah. So you've got your brother and your sister
yes, ministering to
ministry,
me.
and you were saying you did a course with.
Yes, it was it was called a discipleship course. It went over 6 weeks, and it just pointed out the gospel and scripture that led you to thinking and led you deeper into why Christianity is important and what the essence of it is. And I remember especially it went through Corinthians and even Revelation and various scriptures to lead me down the path. And on the third week, it asked me who was sitting at the throne of my life. And it had a picture of a throne. And then there were, either is it S, self on the throne and a cross outside of it, or is Jesus on my throne? I thought, obviously not. And who's at the steering wheel of my life as well. So I thought, yeah, it's all me. I'm making all these decisions according to my own so-called wisdom, which wasn't there.
What you want to do.
And so, I realized that, and that was the point where it gave me the opportunity to give my life to Christ.
So you think that was when that was when amazing.
And it was very moving. From then on, it was quite a journey as well, because I had all these weird dreams and I just felt sort of like
under attack.
Thank you. Yes. Yeah. Various things were going on, and things were getting really hard. We were, for example, our house was under foreclosure at the time, and you just think, what's happening? What's going on? And then one dream I had was that you had to forsake all the past and ask for forgiveness. And then right after that, I had this dream that I was going up a staircase, and in our old house in America, it was a big house, country house, and it had a big, large staircase going up and a landing and a big window at the landing, an arched window. And I dreamt that I was going up this staircase and that Satan or a demon was coming after me slowly but surely, and I was going backwards up this staircase. And then I said, in the name of Jesus, go. And the window crashed open, and everything out of the house with this demon flew out of the window. And I woke up with such peace. And, that is such a memory to me, because from then on, I knew, all the baggage, everything, It takes a while to get rid of it all, because it tends to crop up again. But no, it was done. It was a done deal. Jesus had taken it.
So you had to find a church. You looked to find a church after that?
Yes. That was interesting. Yes, I went to the traditional church first.
It's probably all you knew.
All I knew. I didn't even know that there was anything like an evangelical church or so. So I went to the traditional church, and there were empty pews. It was just dark, empty, a couple of grannies and maybe a couple of confirmation students, which were 2 or 3. So it was as empty as
And did
I had been.
Adrian go with you?
They went with me later to that. I found out about this church through somebody in our village.
Okay.
And Adrian was speaking about it because a school friend of his went there.
Okay.
And, you know, because they knew I was seeking, because I went to
Yeah.
this traditional church.
Okay.
And yeah, it was just brilliant. It was a small, I think we were 40 members, small families, and things were getting better in the spirituality sense. And I went to a Bible study there, went regularly to prayer meetings, and the kids just, I think, recognized that I was just broken. I was broken, and they saw that I was so thankful, so thankful. I would cry at most of the services and everything. It was just, yeah, just such a change of life. And I did hope and try to engage my husband in it, but he didn't. He always thought it was a flash in the pan, like my tarot cards and Ouija. He just thought, "Oh, she'll get over it. She'll get over it."
Yeah. But
But
he
I
just
never
didn't
looked
engage
back.
at all.
No. Well, you know, he came along
time.
the odd time, at Christmas time, and I remember once we had problems with our house. There was something with the foundation that it gave us a lot of cracks in the ceiling and things like that. And there was one sermon about building your house on a rock instead of the sinking sand, and he was there, and he sat there. All he could think of is our house, you know. So, you know, poor guy, and he didn't even connect the dots. You know, we were trying to.
Yeah, but
yeah.
unless your eyes are opened, you don't
I
see
know.
it, do you?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, so yeah, so the kids they got involved in the church. I think Amanda got saved at that particular church, didn't she?
You know, peculiar. Another church, a more charismatic church, they did an evangelistic outreach.
Yeah.
And we went there. It was in an auditorium, and I took Amanda and Adrian to it, and they were like 11 and 7 and 11.
So Arlene was only 4
Arlene,
or something.
yeah, we decided to leave her home because it was an evening event, and she stayed with Dad. So they went, and it was all about, you know, you know, your sin, and, you know, it was a real outreach, you know, why we need Jesus. And it was also, they did a play, what happens when you get to heaven and everything like that. And then they did a calling in the front, and I just waited. I was just, I thought, oh, kids, will you please, do you want to go, please? I was praying and everything. And then I just asked them, do you want to go in the front? And they went along with me. And they were so excited. All the way home, they just spoke about how exciting it is. And they told their Dad, you know, it's not, you can't inherit faith. You have to do it for yourself. I remember Adrian saying that to his dad, you know, and still nothing.
But the relationship with your husband,
it didn't get better. You know, we did try a few years on, 6 years on from there as well. But, you know, there was just something broken. It was just really difficult. And it was like pulling on two ends. And, you know, we had people over for meals sometimes and everything. And he would kind of excuse himself, and it was really sad, very sad.
Yeah, sad story. And that was obviously difficult with having the kids at kind of that age as well. So you went to Aberdeen?
Yes, so he decided to go on another journey, and we had the opportunity to go to Aberdeen.
Because your sister was there.
My sister was there, and my mom was there, and the cousins were there, and we were all very close. We used to visit them regularly, and they us.
Yeah.
So it was suggested whether we would like to go there. And not in a million dreams had I thought I would go to Aberdeen or to Scotland, of all places. I was trying to stay in Germany, trying to find accommodation and things, sell the house, etc. Then I didn't know whether I should go. And the kids leave their dad. And I was doing a Bible study. My sister sent me a regular Bible study to, day by day study. And I was reading in Joshua at the time. And I was praying and praying, what should I do? Should I go? Should I leave? I know I have to sell the house. I know I have to get out of here. Where do I go from here? And then the words from Joshua came, do not fear, be strong and courageous, and do not fear. I will go with you wherever you go. Mm-hmm. And I thought, that's it. Yeah. That's the answer. I'll go. Yeah. So,
yeah. And that was so did you remember all your English? I guess you'd been speaking English.
Yes.
Through your work.
Yeah. I mean, my English was more or less like what my German has become now. Sometimes, you forget certain words, and it was good enough. It was good.
But the kids, they didn't really speak English.
They didn't speak. Adrian did, but
Adrian did. Okay.
The girls spoke a little bit, and they had to go straight into school, straight into high school.
So what were the good parts? And what were the hard parts of initially moving to Aberdeen? That adjustment must have been tricky for the kids, but you were probably...
Yeah, it was great for me because I found the Scots were really nice, friendly people, and I don't know, I just felt maybe more connection because I was fluent in the language, and compared to
your sister
German.
there.
My sister there, my mom, my kids loved their cousins, so they were a great support.
They got tutored by your sister as well, didn't they?
Yes.
Fast-tracked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and you had a nice house there, and...
Yeah, we got a house there, which was also a miracle, because we got it at rock bottom price
before
at the
time,
kind
of oil
before
boom.
Everything went to, way up. So
and then
the church was around the corner,
Christian
a great
fellowship.
evangelical
really good.
church, great teaching.
Yeah, really good teaching.
Really
good
wonderful.
People. Yeah. So you said, literally was around the corner. What,
it was around the corner.
150 yards maybe.
Yeah.
So you could get fully involved in lots of things.
Yeah, it was absolutely wonderful. My mom, she was helping out in an Alpha course, and one of my future bosses was one of the main leaders there. And, what can we pray about? And then she said, well, my daughter just moved here. She needs a job, and could we pray about that? And then he went, bing. I and my two colleagues, we have a position. So, it's just like, I moved in October, and this was over Christmas time. And then in January I could start working.
And you worked, for them. I think I'm right in saying you worked there until
I moved here,
Yeah. So such a blessing.
It was such a blessing, and 3 strong Christian guys.
Great. Yeah. Because I know I've been to the church a few times, and I know the girl, Amanda and Arlene, got a lot from it as well.
Yeah.
They teach good grounding. A great place to...
Wonderful,
to kind of, just hear great teaching. So you got involved with lots in Aberdeen, didn't you, the church? Like you were church-wise, what are some of the things you got involved with?
I helped out with Sunday school for a time, and Alpha courses, and soup kitchens, in the city. The soup kitchens were great for me, for healing as well, because I felt I could give something, and you got so much more back. The people were just so lovely. They were down and outs and all sorts of backgrounds and everything that came for just a hot meal. They got a sermon from our good outreach pastor, John Merson, and it was just lovely to sit with them and chat and hear their life story. And I just felt so grateful,
Yeah, good.
you know, how God has brought me through these difficult times.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I'm not sure if it was run through the church or it might have been something you did independently, but divorce care.
Yes.
You set up a course in Aberdeen.
Yes. About 5 years on, I noticed that there were more and more people in the church that were having family breakdowns, and other churches that I was friendly with as well. And so I came across by coincidence in a leaflet, Prayer for Scotland, that there was a lady in Calendar who started up a sort of like a divorce support group. And I got a bit involved in that, but I found out, it's a bit not quite helpful to me, because you had to do a lot of work yourself towards it and build it up. And I didn't feel adequate to do that, nor did I have the time. And I always had to go to Calendar and stuff. So our care pastor suggested, there's a course called Divorce Care. He was from Ireland, from Northern Ireland, and he, do we still have time?
Yeah, that's fine.
And he suggested whether we should try it. It was a very slick program. It had booklets and DVDs and training program and everything like that. So I thought, this is a bit slick. I don't know, but it had the tools to run.
And you can you don't have to go over it.
That's right. And it just had a 13-week seminar course where, all I had to do is put the DVD and then later have a discussion. And I mean, life-changing things happened there for people. People that came back to the church, people that weren't even churched, found faith, and some people did the course 2 and 3 times.
And just built community as well.
Exactly.
Didn't it? So you might have done the course for 13 weeks. It was
our parachurch.
Yeah, and you'd know people for years after.
And
so how many times did you individually run that course?
Goodness, I don't know, over 10 years for sure.
Yeah. Wow.
Yes, I'm still in contact with some. As a matter of fact, on Sunday I had a message from a friend who got baptized.
Oh, amazing.
8 years ago she joined us. She was in total, she was suicidal. She actually tried to commit suicide and called in desperation. And I wasn't running a course at that time. But for her sake, I gathered a few people that had done it a few times and had helped out. And it was a lifesaver. Wow. It was just wonderful. Just wonderful.
I'm sure you could have lots of stories, people you could speak about.
It was very rewarding.
And did you even do it in COVID remotely as well?
We did. In COVID we started, and that group that we had to cut off and do it then remotely, I'm still intensely in contact with them.
And doing that.
Yeah,
brilliant.
It's good.
Yeah. I just know from that has touched a lot of people and helped a lot of people. So it's great. After I mentioned COVID there, coming to end of your working life, and you made the best decision of your life to come to Wallyford.
Of course I did.
I lose track of time. How long was it? 2022?
I think it's like about 3 years. It's been 3 years. Yes.
Yeah. So you came to us, and we've loved having you for family-wise, it's been brilliant, but I think for church-wise, I know I take the family out of it. I know I speak for a lot of people.
Well, I've been so blessed.
The people you've helped and things that people don't even realise that you're doing. You're meeting people, visiting people. But what do you want to? I don't know. Have this kind of open question. How have you adapted to life in Wallyford? How have you found it? What have you been involved with? or not
I'm
be? I mean,
just,
pretty much everything we do in the church you seem
no,
to be involved
it's
with.
just been wonderful. I mean, when I came here, I first thought, oh, I might have to do a little wee job on the side or something. But I felt it's just been wonderful to be able to be a part of your family and to be a part of the church and to have the time and the opening, you know, to not have to look at my, you know, clock and say, oh, I have to be at work at so and so time, and just to spend time with friends and to, you know, go to our home group. And I've just, been so blessed.
And you got properly
Wonderful.
involved with Connection Week this week.
Yes,
That was good. And Mums and
me.
Tots,
Yeah,
and pretty much everything.
I've been praying for my little community around there because, you know, I like to sometimes bring cakes to my neighbors here and there, and I always think, oh, but I have to have an opening to tell them why I do this, and, you know, just have the courage to do that. But I do give them Christmas cards that, you know,
I'm sure they know,
you know,
and,
little story behind it and things like.
Yeah, brilliant. And you're in America a lot.
I am.
You're going in a couple of weeks, so you get your trips to America. So you've got
family out
there, and your Adrian's in Germany. So you're kept busy.
That's right.
No, it's great. And I know a lot of people appreciated your testimony that you did on last Sunday. So that was great. I think is there anything?
I think we touched on most of it.
We've got through quite a bit. I mean, we could probably go into depth in lots of things, and people might want to quiz you about certain things if they listen to this and maybe ask about certain things. So we've got touched lots of little bases that might help people in different ways.
I mean, considering my age, 71 now, 72 this year.
Wasn't going to say.
There's a lot of story behind all of that.
But, and God willing, there'll be more stories to tell. Because I think, because actually, since you've been at Wallingford, our church, brilliant time as well. It's it's pretty much seems like it's doubled in people. We've got a new building, so it's been an exciting time to hopefully to be part of. And
I'm not well pleased that I'm going to miss the celebration on the 7th of September. But I'll hear.
There'll be more celebrations to come. I'm sure of different things. Sure. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this. It's been great. Thank you. Thanks everyone. Thanks for listening. Bye.